14 amazing things about women. Number 14. Women can sync their periods together. If you've ever lived in a house full of women, then you already know the stress and hormonal madness that can occur once a month.
If you thought one period was bad, girls can actually sync together their periods, creating twice the chaos.
But what exactly does that mean? A scientific study that dates back to 1971 that examined 135 American women all living together in one dorm and was discovered that there was an increase in their menstrual cycles. It all has to do with socially mediated synchrony, which doesn't apply just to women, but to animal species as well. According to the Sydney Morning Herald, a group of females all become sexually receptive at the same time, so they won't be targeted and singled out by men. Go figure. Number 13. Women's intuition. A woman's intuition is not just an old wives' tale. In fact, scientists theorize that women may have developed some sort of sixth sense over time. Research conducted on nonverbal communication indicated that women as a whole are better than men when it comes to reading facial expressions, enabling women to pick up subtle messages. Women are also better at displaying their emotions through their feelings and tone of voice. It is speculated that these elements have heightened throughout the ages, giving females the ability to understand their children's needs and their spouses. Number 12. Ladies think about their appearance 9 times a day. A survey held on the shopping channel QVC proposed that British women think about their looks at least 9 times a day and will refuse to leave their homes without putting lipstick on. While 30% of females admit that their beauty is the last thing they think about on their minds, 16% say their makeup routines is the first thing on their brains when they wake up. The same survey also found out that more than a third of females were concerned about looking presentable in front of other women than men. Sue Leeson, QVC's marketing director, says that this poll reaffirms what most people have already suspected. Women love to look their best no matter what. Number 11. Women live longer than men.
In almost every country around the world, the life expectancy of women is much higher than men.
Now, this isn't because women magically age slower, but because they are stronger and healthier at every age. Men have higher mortality rates, but women have higher rates of physical sickness. Several factors that might contribute to longevity include the protective effects of estrogen and effective immune functioning. In addition, men also tend to exhibit risky behavior. Plus, men are exposed to hazards at work and have higher rates of smoking and alcoholism. Males drive more aggressively than women as well. Ladies are more health conscious and seek the proper health care, while men see their bodies as sources of power and strength and expose them to risk at an earlier age. Number 10. Women are better at multitasking. According to an article in the journal BMC Psychology, women are better multitaskers than men when it comes to juggling a variety of tasks. Several researchers claim that women might find it easier than their male counterparts to switch their attention, and their brain doesn't need extra mobility to do so. There's also the factor of really stressful situations, which requires a frequent change in attention. It is speculated that women are used to balancing numerous tasks at once, like household chores and taking care of the kids. However, there is no concrete evidence to support this. Number 9. Women have wilder dreams. Females have more emotional dreams, more surreal dreams, and more nightmares than men, and it's all due to hormones. Research indicates that female hormonal cycles can impact our thoughts. In fact, women are more likely to experience a nightmare and an emotional dream before they start their periods. An analysis from the University of the West of England also claims that alterations in our body temperature can be a contribution as well. Other factors like late-night snacking, smoking and drinking alcohol are other factors for bad dreams. But the good news is bad dreams can be prevented. Number 8. Smartest female in the world. One of the highest IQs in the world belongs to author, columnist, and playwright Marilyn Vos Savant. From 1986 to 1989, the Guinness Book of World Records listed her under highest IQ, which gained nationwide attention. Savant proved her intelligence by taking the Stanford Binet and the Mega Test. She scored a 228 on her IQ test, having taken her first at only 10 years old. Starting in 1986, she began a column on Parade.com called Ask Marilyn, where readers submit puzzles and questions which she answers. The most famous question she answered was the Monty Hall problem, which is a challenging brain teaser that she correctly solved in 1990. Now at 70 years old, Savant is still headstrong and has written over 10 books about the powers of logical thinking and mathematical mysteries. Number 7. Women can only keep a secret for 47 hours.
No matter how juicy the secret is, women have a hard time from spilling the beans.
According to Daily Mail, in a study of 3,000 women from the ages of 18 to 65, at least 4 in 10 weren't able to keep a secret no matter how confidential or private the news was. More than half of the women stated that drinking drinking alcohol would prompt them to tell other people about the secret. Women have said their best friends, mother, husbands, or boyfriends would be one of the first people they'd spill the secret to. The same study also found out that the average female hears about 3 segments of gossip a week and will tell at least one other person. 3 in 10 ladies will have the strong urge to pass a secret on to other individuals in order to get it off their chest. But don't worry, at least 2/3 of women feel bad after revealing the secret. The good part is at least 27% of people forgot what they were told the next day. Can you keep a secret? Number 6. The first Olympic Games. Women and girls were not allowed at the first Olympics, but the Games of Hera, which were held every 4 years, featured foot races for ladies. Women weren't even authorized to watch the Olympics at all or permitted to participate in any athletics, with Spartans being the only exception. The first Heraean Games dated all the way back to 6th century BC and was dedicated to Hera, who was the Greek goddess of marriage and women. Heraean competitions consisted only of foot races, and the winners donned olive crowns. Cow or ox meat would be sacrificed to Hera, and participants painted portraits of themselves in the temples. It was believed during this time Heraean marked an indication of pleasant change in social conditions, reducing limitations on women. Number 5. Ladies are better drivers. It's a battle of the sexes. According to a survey conducted by Privilege Insurance, men were more than likely to make predictable road mistakes. Men also overestimated how good their driving was on the road. When asked if they drove the correct speed limit, 84% of men said they drove accordingly, while only 64% of them actually complied. Women are more polite than men while on the road. 39% of women were courteous to other drivers, while only 28% of men actually were. At least 80% of deadly car accidents are caused by men, while women are 27% less likely than males to cause a car crash. But regardless of gender, all eyes should be focused on the road at all times. Number 4. Women spend almost 1 year of their lives deciding what to wear. Ladies, we've all been there. We've spent countless hours trying to put together the perfect outfit for the night. But who knew all that time could add up to nearly a year? A 2009 study conducted by Madelon Clothing discovered that females spend at least 15 minutes in the morning contemplating on what to wear for the day. After examining survey results extracted from 2,491 women, they deduced that the average female spends about 287 days just picking clothes. But on the weeknights, this activity increases to 20 minutes, and when choosing party attire, it extends to 52 minutes. The investigation also learned that women would try on at least 2 outfits in the morning before selecting the right one. Number 3. Ladies talk a lot more.
And by a lot, I mean 20,000 words per day.
That's 13,000 more words than the average guy. A US study found that women are more talkative than their male counterparts due to higher levels of language protein in the brain. In a trial, it was discovered that male lab rats had more of this protein called FOXP2 than female lab rats. Other studies also show that small talk and gossip start at a younger age in girls than boys. Girls start to talk earlier and faster and are able to put together sentences at a much earlier age. Girls also tend to use a wide range of vocabulary and more variety of sentences. Number 2. Women have 2 brain centers. 2 is better than 1, right? Well, ladies, you have 2 brain centers, so go ahead and celebrate. But wait, what does that mean? Well, the 2 brain centers specifically control your speech, so this is why women are better at hearing than men. Females are able to hear about twice as many sounds than their male counterparts. Associate Professor Dr. Charles Lim from Johns Hopkins University told ABC News that as men age, their hearing tends to get worse. In the same interview, nutrition professor Dr. Paul Breslin from Rutgers University added that women have a slight edge on men in terms of these abilities. So for all these motives and more, the female brain is truly amazing. Number 1. Women feel more pain. Pain during labor is different for everyone. Most ladies can agree that carrying a tiny human inside of us for 9 months is an amazing and indescribable feat. Men would argue that getting hit in the groin is just as painful. Male testicles are covered with numerous nociceptors. When activated, causes high amounts of pain. Since the testicles are connected to the stomach, it could lead to nausea and vomiting. On the other hand, childbirth closely resembles this pain, but the labor process can extend to 8 hours, accompanied by fatigue, tension, and nausea. So if they're both equally painful, what's the big deal? Well, studies from the Plastic and Reconstructive Surgery Journal show that women actually feel more pain than men because they have more pain receptors that causes them to feel pain. On average, men have 17 nerve fibers per square centimeter of facial skin, while women have 34. But this also goes to show that pain is subjective, depending on the severity.
If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Thanks for watching.